I am here with a brand new series called All Rise, and I want to shout out Rambling K because she put me onto it, and I love a good court show. Um, yeah, this is season one, episode one, and it's just called Pilot. They didn't even give it a name for the episode, and I'll be honest, I am confusion. I'm so confused. Like, I'm trying to keep up, but for it to be a pilot episode, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of characters just trying to remember them all, and but I liked it for the first episode. And we're starting off with prisoners, male and female, being led off of the bus into what I'm going to assume is the courthouse. And we have an officer giving them a little spiel about you don't intimidate me, you don't impress me, just whatever, you're not the hardest criminals I've ever seen. And then we had one guy jump at him like this, but he's surrounded by more cops and dogs, so he puts on the tough face. But it's just like, did we really need that from you, sis? Just leave these people. They already locked up. They got the chains on them. We don't need you to be Mr. Tough Guy. And then we have a woman who puts her laptop on top of her car, and then she also has coffee which she puts on top of her car, and then she leans back to get more stuff out of her car. So then we see a young man walking past, and so of course he sees the laptop. He takes the laptop and makes a run for it, and she has on these tall heels, and so she fake like runs after him like, get back here, hey, get back here with my laptop. But it's just like she talking so soft. And then we see a white man in his car who sees him running and then sees her, and he's on the phone, and he tells them, excuse my hair, I'm gonna have to call you back. So he pulls out his car a little bit, and the guy like looking back to see her after him. By the time he turns around, he done ran into the car, so he falls and she gets her laptop back, whatever. Come to find out that she is Lola Carmichael, LA County's newest Superior Court judge. And the white man who was in the car, his name is Mark. And they were attorneys together, but she's proceeded up to judge, and they're friends. So they're just walking in, and it's just like, it was her, not her official first day, but she was there. Excuse me. And then Mark was there for a case. And then, because like I said, it was a lot. So I'm trying to jumble it all together, but it's a lot to take in. So he's a prosecutor. Mark is a prosecutor. And like I said, Lola is now a judge. Then we have Sarah, who is a I hope I'm saying this right. Stenographer, the person who types what everybody's saying in the courtroom. And then we have Emily, who is a defense attorney. And she was there, getting her cases ready. I'm sorry, it's a lot. Like, I'm trying to get this together. It's a lot. And so, but first we have Mark. It's Mark case up first. And then we have the, what is it? The judicial assistant who like tells them what the case is and, gets that all set up. And then we have Lola walking in, and the judge and the assistant is like, can I help you? And she's like, my bad, like, first day, I got my places mixed up, wrong courtroom. And the assistant is just giving her attitude. She's like, obviously. And so Lola looks at her like, apologies to the court. Like, girl, what you so, okay, I walked into the wrong courtroom. What you mad for? And then she sees the defendant walking up. And she's like, Your Honor, permission to approach the bench. So he walks up and he's like, what the the hell going on? What? And she's like, Your Honor, the defendant isn't wearing pants. So then we cut to the defendant, who was one of the prisoners, like when we first started the episode, walking in, because they focused in on her and she was just looking around looking real scared. And it looks like she's an immigrant, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken. And so, excuse me. So she's like, you let her walk in here without no pants. That was the main focus. So it's like she took somebody's jacket and wrapped it around her. So her defense attorney was trying to like cover her. So she was like, I didn't know anything. She's like, your defendant is standing here without pants and you're trying to cover your own ass. And so then she turns to there was a white bailiff and a black bailiff. She turns to the white one and says, you let her walk out of holding like this? And he's like, that's how I found her. I didn't really think about it. And so she asks him, so what if it was your daughter? He tells her to go to hell. So everybody stopped and just like, you might not want to do that. So then he pulls out his gun because Mark came forward and was like, calm down. So he's like, like with the gun just in his face, like, why don't we just burn the whole building down and let them take over, like, towards the defendant? Because like I said, she seems to be an immigrant of Hispanic, Latinx, some type of descent. And so then the judge tells the other bailiff, like, get him out of my courtroom. So he turns his gun towards the judge and shoots at the judge. He ducks. Oh my God, my girl Sarah. I got a feeling I'm gonna like Sarah. Because, like, as soon as that gun came out, Sarah ducked under the desk. She like, I ain't got time. Y'all not finna shoot me. I'll be under here. When y'all get this all together, let me know. Then I'll come back out. And then we have, excuse me. So when he takes a shot at the judge, the black bailiff takes his gun and he shoots him. So it's just like within the first 15 minutes we got all of this going on. And then when we come back, we have Lola meeting all the other judges, so rub elbows, get to know everybody now that you're no longer a lawyer and now you're like on our side. So you got to learn the ropes and how things go. And she finds out that she put in a request for a certain assistant to handle her cases, but she won't be getting that person. She's going to be getting Sherry, who is the assistant from all of what just happened, who was giving her attitude. And she's just like, oh, because Sherry got an attitude. It's something about, it's just like, girl, why are you so feisty? What's the problem? And so then we have them like in her office together, and Sherry just telling her like, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And Judge Carmichael, I haven't figured out what I'm gonna call her yet. So she's like trying to interject, but Sherry just going on and on, like, we gonna do this how you gonna do this. And what did she say? She told her, she was like, just, I guess, like, sign off on all the cases, save the what did she tell her? She said, save the bigger cases, for trial. Don't try to send every case to trial. Breeze through them as quick as you can. And then she also told her, oh, I'm sorry, because this is day 2. This is a whole nother day. After she met with the judges and now that she's meeting Sherry, this is day 2. So she has on a beautiful, all her outfits so far, they on point. I hope they keep this up. And she has a beautiful twist out with her hair. I'm here for it. Lola looks good. What was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought because my notes are jumbled. That's why I'm having such a hard time, because it was a lot to keep up with. I'm hoping with the next episode they like stretch this out, because it's like they tried to cram so much into one episode. It was a lot. And so where did I leave off on my notes? So she tells her she has on a beautiful like pantsuit that's real flowy, but then she also has on her robe. So she tells her wear the least amount of clothes as possible, because that robe is already long. You're gonna trip up. So she's going into court on her first day, and what does she do? She trips, like walking up the steps to go to her seat. And so now we have Emily as the defendant now, and she's back with the same woman from before with just a shirt on and no pants. And come find out her name is Daphne, and it's a different charge this time. The last charge got thrown out, but now she's here for breaking and entering. And it's supposed to be just a breeze through of her pleading guilty, getting 2 years, and they're going to be done. But Judge Carmichael, I think that's what I'm gonna call her. She's looking at her because it just seems like she doesn't understand what she's saying, and she's like, "Do you understand what you're about to plead to, and like the charges that you're about to take?" And she talks to her mom. She's like, "Are you her mother?" Step forward. She's like, "Does your daughter understand the severity of what's happening here?" And she's like, he pointed to the prosecutor because it's a different guy. It's not Mark. She was like, he told her that he would make it 4 if she didn't agree to the 2. So basically, like bullying her into taking the lesser charge. And so she turns to Daphne and she says, "Do you understand what's happening?" And she was like, "No, I wasn't even at that house. I didn't do anything, but nobody will believe me." So she rejects the plea and she says, "I can't accept this. We're going to trial." Oh, another funny thing, because Sherry told her, she was like, "Whenever I need to talk to you, I'll sneeze to let you know, to leave out of the courtroom and we'll go talk." And so, like, while she was doing that, rejecting the thing, Sherry's just like, and she just handed her a box of tissue, like, "Girl, I know what you're trying to say, but this is my courtroom and I'm going to do it my way." And within this episode, we have, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4 different cases happened in this episode. So that's what I'm saying about like slowing this down and getting it, more spaced out or whatever. Because the first one was the one I was talking about with the one with no pants. And then we have Mark on his own case of theft. And but the guy that he's going against is acting as his own lawyer, which, unless you're going to law school, never really works out for people. And then Emily defended another case where she was going on like this whole rant about, because it was a black guy she was defending, and how I think it was just like a traffic ticket or something like that. But she's like, black men make up like 75% of the population in jail. And Lola had to tell her, "Girl, calm down. It's suspended. He can go." And then we have Daphne's case. So, but at the end of, like, towards the end of the episode, we're focusing on these 2 cases as the major cases. And with Daphne's case, the detective, come to find out, she lied about her evidence. And she was the chief of the police station shows up to talk to one. What do I want to say? Because there's another judge that they keep showing. And if anybody ever watched NCIS, no, that's not her. CSI, the original, I cannot remember her name, but the redheaded one, CSI. If you know her name, you know what I'm talking about. She's one of the judges, and she's kind of being like a mentor to Lola, telling her like the ins and outs. So Lola knocks on her door, and she's sitting there with the chief of police. And he tells Lola, "If you ever have a problem with any of my detectives, let me know." So, but he kind of said it like a threat. So it's just like, don't question my detectives. Just take what they say and let that be that to you. And so she, like, after he left, she asked her, she was like, "CSI lady," that's what I'm going to call her. When I find out her name, I'll let y'all know. She was like, "So what was that?" She was like, "It just sounds like, if you question the evidence given to you, it could mess up more than one career." And so she had to sit on that. So she's like, "What do I do? Do I just play ball, or do I stick up for what's right?" Because that's the thing. She thought being a judge now, she would be more fair than all the other judges. But she's quickly learning, even on her first day, it don't work like that. You play ball and let things be done. the way that they want them to be. Nah. Oh, I thought I had a burp, but it's just like, oh, it's sitting right there on my chest. So then we have Mark case against the guy, and it's really, it was boring. It was like he has a video of the man's face, but the man grew a beard, so kind of like OJ. You know, like how OJ was skinny at first, but then during the trial he gained like a whole bunch of weight, so he wasn't the same as the time of the kill. So that, and then it's just like the guy brought up the fact that Mark's dad works for the mafia, so that somehow has something to do with his case of charging him of theft that he's on camera with. And then he what did he do? It was like towards the end, right when they're wrapping up, you know, their closing arguments, he tells the guy, he's like, you won, you beat me. He's like, but you know, you made one little mistake. So of course the guy is like, you know, what's that? And he's like, your facial hair, it hides your face, and the jury is gonna look at you like, if he's so innocent, why won't he show his face? He's like, you know, you have time to you know, you got time to shave it off if you want before closing arguments. And lo and behold, that's what the idiot does. And when he shaves it off and he has that bare face, it's obvious he's the guy from the video. So of course they convict him and he's found guilty. Now with Daphne's case, her case, there was a shoe. The shoe was the big part of the evidence with the detective, because she said she found the shoe on side of one house, and on that house there was no what's that thing called, like a shutter that goes down the side of the house. And so the black bailiff, who come to find out his name is Luke, him and Emily are gonna have a thing going on, but I didn't even want to mention it because it was like so boring, because they were inside the lunchroom and it was just awkward, and it's just like, ew. I don't know, it's just like watching people interact and try to, sorry, I'm just one of those people. I just don't like to watch people interact like that, especially like the beginning stages. It's just like, ugh. Anyway, see, look, me rambling, and I don't went off somewhere else. So where was I? Yeah, so she misplaced the shoe, like, you know, so lying about where she caught Daphne at, because she said she caught Daphne at the door of the house with clothes and jewelry in her hand, and when she announced herself, telling her to freeze, Daphne dropped all the stuff and ran out the house. And Daphne, when it was Daphne's turn, she said, that's not true. I was never in that house. She was next door at her boyfriend's house. But in the end, come to find out that it was actually Daphne's mom who was doing the robbery. She was just there with her. And also, Daphne is 5 months pregnant. I forgot to mention that. So, but at the end, it was Judge Carmichael who caught that, though. She's like, she called the detective into her office, and she's like, you were going to convict someone who you thought was Daphne, but it wasn't. And I feel like she was going to tell her that, but then the detective got on her whole soapbox about being a woman in a police department, and how if you mess up even once, that's it for your career. They don't trust you no more. You don't get to move up. So she's like, you were going to send an innocent person to jail because you made a mistake just so you don't lose your career. And I like what she told her. She said, you do that again in my courtroom and I'll make sure you don't have anything left to serve or protect. I said, go ahead, Lola girl. I don't know why, but because my nails, I was like, I can't snap. Yeah. And so then we have what? Mark said his girlfriend took his car and didn't come back, so Lola drove him to a bar where his dad is, you know, with the mafia. And it's just like, he walk up and I'm thinking it's gonna be this sentimental moment. Next thing you know, he done punched his daddy. But he the one that walk out with the bloody nose, because it's like, your dad got mafia ties. Of course they're gonna hold you down and kick your ass. And yeah, that's it. So far, I'm intrigued. this review is probably a mess and all over the place because that's how the episode was to me. So hopefully, like I said, the next episode is better, more cleaned up, not spread out everywhere, and we can focus on one group at a time per se. And yeah, I missed you guys, and I will see you later. Peace.